Um, yeah, I'll just get started then. My name's Colin. I work for Seibert Media as a sales consultant. Um, Seibert Media is an Atlassian Platinum partner based in Germany. We're also a Platinum Marketplace partner. I'm based in the U.S. I'm in Wisconsin. I get to do all the fun U.S. events and things like JiraCon. And today I'll talk about streamlining issues, reoccurring issues in Jira Cloud with our templating app. Um, Before I get started, though, I want to take time to thank Patrick and the team at Trundle for hosting a great event again. I think we've done it every event. I think I've given a talk at every event, and it every year it just seems to top last year's event and just get better and better. And I like attending it just as much as I like speaking at it. So shout out to Trundle and everyone that had a hand in putting on this event because it's been fantastic, and I look forward to the rest of it. Just jumping in real quick. I'll keep this short and sweet. You guys probably been sitting in a couple of talks, maybe they're an hour long. We'll keep it about 20 minutes. That way you have time to go get a drink, maybe some lunch, and then get right back at it. Um, Kind of where we're coming from with reoccurring issues and templating app. Um, as humans, we like to develop routines because it saves cognitive energy. It saves our mental capacity. We don't have to think about things. It's like waking up in the morning. You probably have a process. For me, I wake up, brush my teeth, take a shower, put on some clothes, get my coffee, and then start working. I don't even think about those first four steps before I, get into my office chair, and I don't have to spend any energy on it. It's kind of the same thing. We've all probably been there in Jira, where we have a task, we're onboarding someone, or we're setting up a laptop, or something like that, where we have to create 20 Jira issues, and then it's just over and over and over again. And by the end of it, you're mentally drained, or maybe you're taking an ACP, and you're not really physically working, but mentally you're working, and you're tired afterwards. So developing routines, figuring out recurring processes, and then automating those recurring processes um, saves a lot of time and energy and some stress. Is You don't have as much stress when you can automate those. Atlassian put out an article in May. I found a quote in it that kind of related, but they talked about IT service teams using repeatable processes to deliver consistent and efficient service. And you think about it, it makes sense. You call the IT service desk, or you go to the chat or something. Every start of the conversation is basically the same. It's almost comforting in a way that you know what to expect when you reach out to your IT team, or I hope you know what to expect when you reach out to your IT team. But kind of on the flip side of that, for IT teams, creating repeatable processes creates consistency. So if you have automation or templates um, that create that consistency, it's you become more predictable. So managers or leadership can then say, this IT team, we expect them to, or we can predict based on their processes and everything, that they can close this many tickets, or this software team can deliver this software because of their consistent and effective processes that they can repeat because they've done it before. Rather than talking about IT and software teams the whole day, I thought maybe we do something a little more fun. We talk about movies and sequels because that is kind of repeating the same process. I thought about doing remakes as well. But remakes, I feel like, get more of a bad rap because I always think the original one's better. But with Top Gun here, with the sequel being, 35 years later, um, I thought it was really good. I really liked it. Um, and they kind of built off of it. So, why do companies make sequels, or why do they do remakes? The characters and world are familiar. There's going back to that comfort. The audiences has some comfortability, some familiarity to the characters, even though in say the new Top Gun, there's a different character, but that you're introduced right away. That's the son of a character in the old one, but you feel like him because of that previous experience. It's easier for a company to draw on that audience because they have that previous experience. People don't have to think as much as they're watching the movie. And then from a production standpoint, the production company has a lot of knowledge and insights from that previous production. So, easy example is they worked with the U.S. government, Department of Defense. They built relationships on, can we, film on an aircraft carrier? Can we use, this multi-million-dollar jet to film these sequences? Do you have experts that can make it more realistic so people feel like it's an actual film that they could see happen in real life, rather than, okay, that might not happen. And then they use those experiences, those relationships they built, and when they're doing a similar movie, the sequel, they can save time and money, which is the common theme among all of what I'm talking about today. Is use those relationships to save time and money, and not have to experiment with or reinvent the wheel, I guess, with their production. They have that experience and they can build off of it. Kind of, already said that using gained knowledge to create recurring processes to save time and energy. That's what the templating app is for. Not to talk about movies all the time. Probably could spend the entire hour talking about movies. Maybe if some of you want to, we can hang out here. But I thought it'd be nice to do Avatar, since it also recently came out. This is going to be my live demo example. But James Cameron gave a talk at Team 23, and I really like that talk. He talked about teamwork and how the different processes of filmmaking throughout not just Avatar but Titanic and his other movies. And I know Avatar is going to get a couple more movies that are slated to come out in the next couple of years, but you definitely know that they used what they learned in Avatar, the first one, and Way of Water, to create Way of Water. Those processes, whether practical effects or CGI, they could bring those over to the new movie and then adapt based on new current technology. So using what you've learned to create something new without having to reinvent the wheel, and then what you learn in Way of Water, you're going to adapt and then use in the next movie. But enough talk about movies. Let's get into Jira. Let's look at what the templating app does. I'm in my Jira board here. You can see, and if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Once I get to the end, I'll go through the questions and we can talk about them. But I'm in my movie production project. I have a blank Jira board. I want to get started. Most likely, if I'm just starting a movie, I know what I'm going to be doing. I could, start saying, okay, I need to start recruiting actors. I need to get writers. I need to get special effects people. I can start creating those issues. But that's probably a reoccurring task that we could have automated with a template. So instead, I'll go to the app section, issue templates, and you can see a list of templates here. But I will type in movie to get the movie production template. And then I will see an overview of my issue template. Here's all of the issues that will be created if I were to hit create right now. I'll go into the settings so you can see how this is all set up. But instead of manually creating these 22 issues, basically with one click of a button, I will create 22 issues in the movie production project for Avatar 3. Going into the settings, just to show you, you have kind of the classic details, change the icon, template name, subtitle, description, and so on. But the two that are unique here and nice is you can select a project that it defaults to. So if one project is going to use a template all the time, it'll default to that one. And then visible global library, or visible in the global library. If you want the whole company to use or all of the projects to use this template, it can be visible and it will be visible by default to everyone. Otherwise, if you click uncheck it, then it's only visible to that one project that is selected above. We'll keep it visible in global, and then we will let's jump over to form and variables, because this also saves us a lot of time. When I click create on the form, a little menus or create on the templating template, a form will pop up and it will give me the option to enter in a movie name, director, and recruiter. And I can take these variables and insert them into any Jira issues that I have on my issue tree. So I could add as many variables as I want. You can see the different text input, paragraph input, all your classic fields. You can have someone select those when they're creating all of the issues, and then it inserts those variables into the different issues, into the fields that you select. So if I hop over to issues, we can kind of see that in action. Here are all of my issues that I've created. You can see the different epics that I've set up. If I wanted to switch them to tasks or subtasks or whatever issue types you have, I could do that. Or I can add more issues, but you can kind of see how we've built this out into an epic, a task, subtasks. And then for each epic in the summary, we've put one of those variables. So I did hierarchies dash, and then whatever the movie name is. So if you select backslash, you can select any of those variables. And then when you enter those variables in the form, it'll insert those there. So you can put those into any of these fields and link them together. And then you can also predefine all of your other fields as well. If you don't want to use variables, maybe hierarchies or the scouting is done by one specific person, you can type in their name and then it will automatically have that filled out for you every time you use this template. So that's how you would put it together. You would just add issues in, kind of create your hierarchy, your tree, and then you're ready to create. So to create my issues, I would go in, make sure I'm selecting my movie production project. I don't want to create it in that marketing project. Click create issues. And I click create issues, that form pops up, and I'm creating Avatar 3 now. Obviously, James Cameron is the director, and I'll put myself as the recruiter. And when I submit this, the app will start creating the different issues, linking them together, putting in the placeholders, the variables into the correct spots, assigning the issues to the right people that we designated. And then once it's done, issues are created. I can see the list of all my issues if I want to click into them now, or I can just go back to my board and all of my issues are here, all 22 of them, rather than just going in here, hitting create issue 22 times and then linking them all together. Basically, a click of a button, fill 2 fields out, all of my issues are created here. I can start working on them. So it's really that simple. Once you have it all set up, once you've created this template on the back end, because you have that past experience of this reoccurring task, you create that issue and hierarchy. It's really easy to almost automate those reoccurring tasks. So that's pretty much it for the templating app. There's one more feature that's kind of like a mini version of the templating app just for subtasks. So the example I have set up is, say we're in the setup audition issue type or issue, and I want to add a bunch of subtasks. I want to add like 10 or 20 subtasks because there's a lot of things that need to happen for the audition to actually happen. Rather than coming in here and creating all of those subtasks, there's the templating app button. Click on that button. There's a menu that opens up specific to your project. You can select the subtask templates, which you create in your project. And I select the audition one. And now I have my 6 subtasks that I need to do for the to set up an audition are already in here. I hit create, or I can customize and add, say, a prefix of avatar 3. I won't add a parent key or parent summary. I'll just do avatar 3 prefix. And now all of my subtasks have that avatar 3 prefix. And I hit create. It creates those issues. And then when I reopen the ticket here or issue, those subtasks are in there, and I can work with them how I would normally work with them. Yeah, like I said, that's pretty much it. It's straightforward. I didn't want to keep you guys here if I didn't have to and keep kind of droning on. I really wanted to just get straight to the point, show you a nice, fun little example. If you have any questions, put them in the chat. Otherwise, if you think of something, I'll be attending a bunch of different sessions later today. Watching and learning just like you guys. So direct message me on the platform, and I'll respond there. Or if you want to have a personalized demo, or maybe there's a use case that you want to go over, Seibert.biz/chehelke is a way to schedule a meeting with me. You can schedule a meeting on my calendar, and I'd be happy to go over that with you. Yeah, I'll wait for any questions that come in. Otherwise, check out some of the ones coming up in about a half an hour. Cloud migration tips from Barbara should be good, and then a couple of Jira and Confluence tips from Charlotte. And I'll be, I think, attending the cloud migration one to learn some things. Yeah, doesn't look like there's any questions or anything in the chat. So I appreciate it. Thanks again to Trundle and Patrick for putting on the event. It's great. I love attending, and thank you guys for listening. See you around.